you remember those headlines about how Trump was going to irreversibly divide and destroy the GOP? Oh, there they are. Well, it turns out that the president may well be on his way to healing those divisions. Well, yeah, sure, there are still some policy disagreements, but on the big issues, the unity of spirit and purpose is kind of remarkable, and it needs to be acknowledged. You think about where the GOP was in, let's say, 2008 or 2012, early 2016, and now think about where it is today. Once upon a time, the Republican leadership had little regard and minimal respect for the real estate mogul who crashed their party. Just remember the kinds of things the GOP leadership had said about Trump.
Our new president had, of course, not been in this line of work before, and I think had excessive expectations about how quickly things happen in the democratic process.
Claiming a person can't do the job because of their race is sort of like the textbook definition of a racist comment. I think that should be absolutely disavowed. It's absolutely unacceptable.
You would think he would aspire to be the president of the United States and act like a president of the United States, but, you know, that's just not going to be the case, apparently.
So the narrative from the GOP establishment was that Donald Trump was a divisive figure who wasn't engaged in policy. He didn't understand the ways of Washington. Oh, really? I was told by multiple congressional sources that the president worked the phones tirelessly to get this tax bill done for the American people. He has been intimately involved in remaking trade policy to benefit the American worker as well. And of course, his efforts to revive the economy seem to be paying off. Home sales hit their highest level in 10 years. The stock market breaking all kinds of records. And of course, he delivered that tax break. Everybody loves a winner. And now the president has turned some of his fiercest critics into allies. Listen to him now.
A year of extraordinary accomplishment for the Trump administration.
Something this big, something this generational, something this profound could not have been done without exquisite presidential leadership.
I've never, ever in my life used the word fake news until today. I actually understand what it is the president has been dealing with.
Not only is that a stunning reversal of their view of the president's style, but he's converted them, or at least cowed them, on a number of key issues. So, for instance, like, when's the last time a prominent Republican really complained about Trump's efforts to renegotiate NAFTA or challenge China? And in case you didn't notice, Mitch McConnell now sounds like Jeff Sessions on immigration. Defying expectations again, the president has pulled his party toward the conservative populist movement that swept him into office. His detractors are now realizing that the Trump way is the only way forward. It's finally dawned on them. There's simply no constituency for the GOP of open borders, endless wars, and those lopsided trade deals. You want to know who the dividers are today in the GOP? I'll tell you who they are. You see them there. The Bushes, Jeff Flake, Mitt Romney, and other bitter globalists whose time has frankly come and gone. Like the ghosts of Christmas past, they're wandering the halls, making noises, but no one's listening. This is a Trumpian party now, and that's the angle.